Alright, so if you do burnouts or you're just sending it, if you're on stock clutches, you might pop a belt. A lot of people in the desert popping belts. It's kind of just part of it right now, unless you get with 3P. This is the factory secondary spreader you should have had in your toolbox or your glove box or your tool bag. You're gonna need a T30, flathead, screwdriver, maybe a swivel. Alright, first thing you want to take this dilly whacker, fine Canadian hose clamps made of aluminum. You gotta grab this big black. If you came from a Polaris, you're used to grabbing big black hose on your clutch box, of course. Oh my goodness. No OMC gasket. We will have to add that into the video. Alright, so once you get the cover off, you can see this has got the stock gasket in there, which we had to stop right there because that's not okay. One thing I want you to notice about the stock gasket, if you see the indentation it's created by, you know, compressing, which is good. That's what it's supposed to do. That's the same thing ours is going to do. But the difference is this is never going to recoup its shape because this is hollow. This is a one-piece gasket from the factory and it's glued together right here. So once it compresses, it never regains. So you want to pull it out. And then all you do is put ours in. Easy cheesy.
Get out, Joe. We're in the video.
Get out, Joe! Sounds like a 1983 rotary phone. Alright, so we're just moving that out of the way. We got to replace the belt here in a second. So, man, you just...
Enter a long route there.
Now this is the same for the Maverick Trail and the Can-Am Defender. Same belt box. Well, same gasket. Just want to stretch it a little. Pull too tight on it. Once it goes in, it'll settle down. There you go. Boingo. There she is. And this will keep out water, unlike the factory one. There you go. And put your cover back on. Some people like to put dielectric grease on here. We don't suggest it or not suggest it at your own preference. Factory clutch tool, and you're going to thread in here. Just tightening this all the way up. Rotate it around until it stops. Now I'm doing this, if you got a good belt on and you're just trying to replace the belt, you can do this. We're doing this first to try to help us get some of this old belt out of here. Alright, we'll see if that's enough. Proper, you probably would want to pull this clutch off. I don't recommend this, but I am doing this. You can reach in there to feel. Make sure there's no old belt in there. There's not. There's some belt back behind here. You can hear it rubbing still. You'll know you got all the belt out when you don't hear it rubbing no more. Just make sure there's no rubber in there. Feel around. You start the bike up if you want. We ain't got no coolant in it right now, so we're not going to do that. But spin that around. You shouldn't hear anything. You can tighten that down again because well, we got to anyway to put the belt on. Just kind of feel, make sure you're good. Alright, so if you want, you can take a little emery cloth to clean off some of that rubber and stuff that let go. Just real gently. So once again, if you took the clutch off, this would be a lot easier, which is probably the right way to do it, but I'm not doing that. So, especially if I had stock clutches like this, I would not really care about the stock ones. I'd be putting aftermarket on here because the stock clutch is a good clutch at holding the power. It's just it spools really slow. You'd be surprised what an aftermarket clutch will do for the spool on these. A lot of people probably wouldn't even do this, but
You know, the belts ain't cheap.
just a little bit of rubber on there anyway. A new belt will probably rip it right off. now that you got it clean, somewhat, you take the new belt, pay attention to the rotation. You want to point that toward the front of the bike. Point it toward the front of the car. If you're from Cali, if you're from anywhere else in the South.
Why don't you people call it a bike?
If you're from the South, you can call it a bike or a buggy. But if you're from the West Coast, it's a car. I don't know what the East Coast guys, what do they call it? The East Coast guys, I don't know. Comment in the threads what the East Coast guys call it. Or the Northern East Coast guys, it's all the same. So there you go. It's on. Back your tool out. The tool out of the secondary. When that's loose. Oh, that's alright. Anyway, so then you want to take your secondary, keep your fingers out of there. We're not liable though if you're an idiot. And spin this and it will tighten up. That's where you want it. Make sure your belt looks good in there. Make sure you don't hear anything funky. Good to go. Belt replaced. More donuts. More burnouts.